All right, how's it going, everybody? This is going to be the Conscious Bodybuilding Podcast, episode number 11. We got Jordan on today, and today we're going to be doing actually Olympia predictions. We were just talking about this briefly, and it's been kind of a crazy year. This Olympia is like very unique because one, it's been pushed to December, and two, it's now in Florida. And I don't know how long it's been since they've moved the Olympia, but it's been a long time.
Like 2 weeks.
No, I mean like how long since they've changed the actual location of the Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was at the Orleans Hotel for, as long as I've been, been bodybuilding, or at least been aware of bodybuilding. I knew it used to be at like another hotel in Vegas and then other states and I think even countries.
Like Planet Hollywood?
Planet Hollywood, they were actually going to move the venue to Planet Hollywood earlier this year. And then I think Nevada is also shut down or semi-shut down to the point where they had to go to Florida.
So what it was is they were going to limit the amount of fans to like only 200 fans can go watch, and it's like from the Olympia, like the company. They would make no money.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, we're in a niche sport, and it's like, it's already like, it's profitable, but it's not super profitable. You do 200 fans, like they're probably already going to lose money just because of the amount of people who maybe not be able to get to that access to that. And then, they're trying to make it up for it in pay-per-view, but I don't know how many fans will pay for pay-per-view, versus being there live. So man, it's rough. And then it's December. It's like right before Christmas. So anybody who's traveling with the restrictions, it's going to be really difficult. I don't know. I was kind of like originally thinking like, man, maybe they should sit this year out. Like, I don't know, but I give credit to the promoters for prevailing this far. I mean, like it's probably been a freaking nightmare, moving stuff around and like trying to get this organized. Like I can't even imagine. But yeah, so we were just going to do some predictions. We're going to start with the open class here. I had some stuff written down. Open. I mean,
I already have a top 3, and then kind of like up to a top 6, and then
I was gonna be like 6. Yeah. Let's start with saying, let's see who's not. I have the open list, but who's not competing? We had. Oh, I can't even see who was removed off the list here.
The only person I'm unsure if they are competing or not is Hottie.
Yeah, it's. Well, I don't know. People seem to be like confident that Hottie can make it.
Yeah, I just don't know if he has a visa yet. Exactly.
Oh, so yeah. I don't know if it was anything pertaining to the Trump presidency. I know that maybe this year he may have trouble, but like, because I think Trump had more restrictions on traveling from, what is he, Iran?
Yeah.
So we'll see. If I have him in my predictions, if he does.
I have him in 3rd.
I have him in 3rd as well. That's great. Let's go through. Let's start with like our 6th. Well, who do you have at 6th place? Here, I'm going to screen share and we'll pull up their instas as we talk about them.
I think Dexter.
Yes, I have Dexter in my 6th. Here, let me go to Insta.
Damn, great minds think alike.
I know. All my tabs here. Okay. Well, I don't think Dexter's posted any physique updates recently.
No, I haven't seen anything.
So why do you have Dexter in 6th?
He's getting old, but he's still the blade.
Yeah, okay. So one thing I wanted to mention. Oh, here, let me make sure I'm in this too. One thing I wanted to mention is like the track record. Like the thing is that like
put him outside of the 6th.
No, and I think we need to like one thing when you're making predictions about these people and like where they're going to place is like how consistent have they been? And Dexter is one of those people who's like extremely consistent.
He's won an Olympia.
He's persistent and consistent. Exactly. And he's won an Olympia. So they're going to have eyes on him always. He's always going to stand out because he always has good conditioning. He's got an extremely balanced physique. I mean, and it's just crazy how he's stood the test of time. And I think that may even give him points. They're probably looking at this guy, like 51 or something like that. He's up there, 51 or so years old. He's been really consistent. He's still bringing it. Like, if as long as his conditioning is there and he doesn't have any weird things happening with his physique, like, related to age, he is, he's got eyes on him, and he's probably going to be in that top 6. And I agree 100%. He's just again really consistent, and I think they reward that. So this is like the most recent one.
I think the only thing that has gone with his age was his legs.
Yeah, but even like what year is this?
Probably like that was the Arnold.
That was the Arnold. Yeah, I mean it's still fucking there for sure.
Yeah, no,
quads from the front is what you're saying.
It looked ridiculous.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm very hopeful for him to do well, and I'm honestly even just getting in that top 6 is awesome for him.
Yeah.
Okay, really. So who do you have in 5th? Because my 5th and 6th, I think, are.
I need to rethink about this because now that I don't have it written down, unfortunately, I should have done that. But
okay. I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
This is out there. And honestly, I'm rethinking it now. I'm looking over it.
You're not going to say Hunter Labrada.
No, I'm not. No, okay. I don't think I think he's going to be in the top 10. I don't think potentially. I'm going to say Rami.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I think Rami. I don't know, man. I can't bet on his conditioning. I think
I cannot put him above Bonac.
No, not at all. He's just extremely developed.
Yeah.
If Rami, I again talking about track record, like if Rami, comes in conditioned, then he's
always if.
Yeah, it's always an if though, and again, based on his track record, it's not likely to happen. But that being said, he's just so dominant. Otherwise, like they let him get away with a little bit less condition and be in that top spot. So based on previous years where he's placed, I would say that he's probably going to be in that 5 spot. Just based on just almost sheer size. And I don't think his conditioning has been off, but he's still like lean, like I don't think he's like,
so
fat or anything.
What I think about Rami is, okay, so we're looking at a guy who's gone 2nd place at the Olympia before, runner up to Phil. But
right.
This year, okay, so there's always a but with Rami. It's always, is he going to come in? And he honestly, he's come off. The best big Rami we've seen was I think 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, and it was like Arnold or something, or was that Olympia too?
And then after that, the only thing is he was given a special invite this year. So if you're given a special invite during, the year of 2020 to go to the Olympia, you have to work fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like you cannot show up off when you were given an okay to come to the Olympia.
Right. The only counter to that, I would say, is that he didn't know until he didn't have a full prep time amount to know that he was competing at the Olympia.
It was still 9 weeks out. And he was already dieted for Spain, though.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, then potentially he's good to go. Yeah. So I mean, I still, man, if this guy is shredded on stage, I always feel like I see him. Excuse me. I always feel like I see him a couple weeks out or a week out, really looking crazy, and then you do some shit. I feel like a lot of these guys, they do some weird prep peak week shit, and it just totally fucks with their conditioning.
Abdullah, his coach.
I don't know. Abdullah doesn't post him up. I don't think he's with Oxygen this year.
Oh.
I haven't seen him training at Oxygen.
Oh yeah, I forgot who he switched to.
I don't know who he's with now. Let's see if he posts or tagged it in any of his posts. Regardless, I feel like it was 1 year or 2 years ago. I remember seeing him in the offices at Oxygen, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then he gets on stage, and he doesn't look anything. Obviously pictures and.
Go to Dennis James' Instagram.
I think he's on there.
Yeah, because Rami's staying with Dennis James right now, leading up to Olympia.
He's staying with him? That means he's here.
Yeah, no, Rami already is here.
No, I mean Dennis James lives in Arizona. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Rami's in Arizona.
What gym is this? We need to go find them.
But
I mean they're together. So.
Yeah. So yeah, James has
what gym is this?
Is putting Rami through some posing and training stuff while he's in town. But there's a post where James talks about who his actual coach is and the fact that He's not Rami's coach. He's just helping
He's
him
just
out while he's
training him
standing.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool.
But if we scroll down, maybe we could see it. I'm not sure.
You think it's a post with Rami, like one of these?
Scroll down just a bit more, please. I'm not sure. It could be, but I remember seeing something about that. If you want to click on that most recent photo of them or post of them together, maybe.
Most recent, this one?
Or not the most recent, the
one I just
post that you see Rami in.
Well, that's that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, well then never mind. I don't know. Actually, no. There's one below.
This one?
Looks like they're doing lateral raises.
Missile
okay, never mind. But oh yeah, is Rami in Arizona?
Yes. I want to know. I don't know if he answered.
He said no. The focus is on the Olympia. He can't be saying.
Said yep. This is the gym.
Glendale. We got Rami. Oh yeah, there
going
he
to
is.
Glendale.
Rami's in Glendale.
Oh shit.
That's awesome.
I don't know why they're not out here. What the fuck? All right, I'm gonna do some research later. So I know where the fuck they are.
Do a quick drive to Glendale.
Yeah. Just be that weird guy in the back just watching them.
Train Rom.
Okay, so who do you have in fourth then?
I think Bonac.
Yeah, I have Bonac in fourth as well. Let's see.
Bonac is awesome, but he's I think he's starting to be on his decline.
Yeah, the stomach, for sure. Let's see. Like, I really think his like waistline over the years has not been as nice and as pleasant. I really, I hate to get emotion involved, but I was a fan of him up until he did that. I don't know if you ever saw the thing he did with like Lou Marco.
No, I didn't. What did
he basically like came up at an expo and was like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna beat you up because Lou reported on him and he didn't like what he said. And so he like came up to him at an expo, was like trying to fight him. And I was like, this is really unprofessional. But that's emotions aside. He has definitely got a very bubbly, like round physique structure.
It looks like he's supposed to be in 212. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think as far as like, I think the waist, he doesn't even post any of the photos of like him doing a double bicep or anything. That I think that hurts him a little bit in those poses. Like here, he looks freaky.
Yeah,
you can tell he's definitely shorter, and Phil's already not the tallest bodybuilder as is. Super freaky though, just super round. He almost looks like a smaller Phil in some shots.
Seriously.
But yeah, I think that waist hurts him a little bit. Like it's not like the distension like Phil had. It's the actual oblique at the waist.
Yeah,
I think
it's just wide.
I think we can get a double bicep anywhere else. He's not posting any, probably for good reason. Caps lock.
I think when he does it, he does a slight twist at his stomach to like make
to kind of hide it. That's smart.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like his front relax, like it's just so yeah, you're right, it's pretty blocky.
Yeah. Oh. Can we see these? Yeah, like here, unfortunately the lighting isn't super good.
The twist made it look good.
The twist helps it for sure.
Yeah.
But is that like a top 3 double bicep? I wouldn't think so personally.
I don't think so.
Can I get a well lit photo? Here, there we go. Oh my God, like the lack of high quality photos is just so upsetting. Yeah, so here you can tell, like, I don't know. I mean, it's not too bad here. Is this 2019? Yeah. I think there's some discrepancy in the bicep, but that twist kind of throws it off a little bit. Definitely like in the lats here, especially, and obviously the waist a little bit. Still freaky physique. But yeah, I agree. I think that third or that fourth is appropriately rated. Okay, so who do you have?
He's won in Arnold. I said I didn't know he's won in Arnold's.
Which one?
2018.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Okay.
Second place at the Olympia. That's what it says.
2019, yeah. Yeah, I think that was with the lack of. Oh, and well, he beat Hadi last year. That's interesting. I don't know. I really think that like Hadi, what happened last year was that he was such a new person to the division that I
Yeah.
think that probably affected his placing because William is a more seasoned competitor.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that's how bodybuilding works sometimes.
Most
Uh,
definitely.
so, but I really think that if Hadi comes in, if Hadi can make it, I have him in third.
I agree. So now
Hadi,
we're looking at. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
what's up?
I thought we were going into another placing, but no, this is perfect.
No, because we're at fourth right now, right?
Yeah. So Hadi, wow, yeah, his condition is just like actually above a lot of people's.
The condition, yeah, dude. Honestly, I thought man, I don't know. Looking at the top three last year,
Dude, like his waist is not even small. It's just his conditioning is so nuts.
yeah, but his waist isn't bad by any means. I don't think.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. It works with him. I don't know. Like with Bonac, I feel like it doesn't.
His
That's
Bodak's
my
shorter, I
perception.
think.
Yeah, it just really works.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is
Dude,
like
like
Branch
look at him.
Warren esque, like
Mm-hmm.
nuts. Like just look at that, the striation all the way down. Like he's really lean. That's what one thing that stood out to me last year was like, holy shit! Like I
Yeah.
almost was like, Hadi could win this because of how he's got the size, the fullness, the roundness, and he's just he was like I think he was leaner than Bonac or Brandon last year
He
is what it
was.
seemed like to me.
Dude, like when you see him on stage, his legs stand out so much more than everybody's.
Yeah, he's honestly a force to be reckoned with. Like he's
Yeah.
really. I mean, like look here. No, so the thing is with Bonac is like he comes out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is still, I would say, it's pretty tight waist.
I agree.
Yeah, he's nuts. I like high hopes for Hadi for sure.
See him on the side chest.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. By the pool.
Jesus.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, honestly. So I think he is gonna be running for that spotlight. Look at this fucking vacuum. That's nuts. Like what the fuck? Yeah, so I think he's definitely gunning for that top 3 spot at least.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not going to beat Brandon and Phil, I don't think.
No.
Okay, so now who's your second? That's the key.
Okay. So, I think I'm speaking emotionally on this, but I'm gonna say Phil is second.
Okay, so I would say, I don't know. There's a lot of factors. It's emotional, but I would say
So
as
many
well,
factors.
Phil. What's up?
I said so many factors. You're correct.
Yes, a lot of factors. So for me, the factors would be that the way he handled his loss, like the thing is like, Phil talks about being the champ and being this person, but the way he handled the loss was not how a champion handles a loss.
Yeah.
And how I think that affects him coming into this Olympia is that I really think that he wanted to put blame on his stomach issue on things outside of himself, such as his hernia. Do I think that his hernia played a role? Absolutely. Do I think it was the reason why he had to send his stomach? No. So is he going to fix that? It would take him to be honest with himself. He's got a coach, so hopefully, like,
is he working with Hani?
Yes. Hopefully, Hani's in his ear, like, hey, Phil, look, dude, I know you think that this could have been or you want to say that this was your hernia, but like maybe with some dietary things we could have changed. We need to keep a close eye on that. I mean, I think at this point he's aware of that issue. Now, is he going to let his ego get in the way, or is he going to allow himself to step back and say, I'm going to fix this so I can win? It's really hard to say. I did see a video, this is like 6 months out, and his stomach was like protruding out of his shirt. So I was like, that's 6 months though. It's not pre-Olympia. So
he hasn't posted like any real updates other than with him wearing like tank tops.
Right.
And I think another thing to think about is, so this is someone who's now had a whole over a year off, almost a year and a half of a year and a half of not competing to make all this crazy progress when he was already at a top spot.
Yeah.
So realistically, he should come back and win the Olympia. But
I can't look up Phil because he has me blocked.
because he has you blocked.
Yeah, let's Google him.
I'll add something funny in after that. But I just I'm not sure if Phil made the changes he needed to make.
So I
And
was
for that,
watching. Oh yeah, go ahead.
and for that, I have Brandon above because I know Brandon is working incredibly hard because he wants this Olympia. You know, he wants people to not. He doesn't want to have that asterisk above his
Yeah,
Olympic
exactly.
title.
And Brandon's aware of that, and I think he's really gunning for it. I think the thing is, Jay Cutler. I was watching him on RX Muscle this morning,
I
and
thought
he
he said Phil
mentioned
would win though.
what?
I thought he said Phil would win.
No, but I'm saying the point that he made in order to support my bias. One of the points he made was that that let's see if we can find him in 2018. One of the points that he made was that what happened when he did that year off, I think when he tore his bicep, is that you got to understand that like the Olympia, like the mentality is different. Like it's not competing at a pro show. I mean, it's not competing at a local show. It's not even competing at a pro show. Like there's a lot of like mental like mind games that go on with yourself even at that level. Like that's a lot of pressure. And he was saying that it took him out of the mindset. Like he stepped away from bodybuilding and was
Not a
like, holy
champion
shit.
mindset.
And it slowed his momentum down. And he came back in like not a champion essentially anymore. And he said he thought that Phil was going to retire. Like he was like, I'm surprised that he came back essentially. So you have that factor too. Is he mentally there after taking that loss? Because again, it seems like he took the loss very. He tried to say, try to make it sound like it wasn't his fault, but you can tell like that really hurt him the way he reacted. I don't know if you saw any of the interviews he did post Olympia.
I did.
But it was like, he was doing everything he could to defend himself, and it was like, dude, like just accept the fact and move forward, right? So it probably really hurt his ego to have lost.
Most definitely.
So how is that affecting him long term? How is that affecting him after a layoff? Does he doubt that he can win? I think Phil's still got a pretty like strong mindset, so maybe he could put himself in that place where it's like, no, I'm still a champ kind of thing. But you got to think about that too. But yes, so to get on to Brandon, yes, I think Brandon is in that mindset. I think Brandon is fresh off that win. He's like, again, like you said, he knows he has to defend that title. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants to, show that in this lineup, because that's one of the criticisms is like, could he in a stacked lineup, could he be Mr. Olympia?
Yeah. And to go back to what Jay was saying, I don't know if Phil was gonna come back either, because I think there's so many other outside forces making him compete. Like, dude, they're making a whole ass movie with like the Rock's production company on his
really?
comeback, yeah, and about how he's gonna win and all this, and it's like, well, what if he doesn't win?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the thing is that are they going to even post that movie? Because he hasn't shown in the past that he can handle losing like a champion.
Yeah.
That was one thing that was so distinguishable to me, is like, that's not how a champion loses.
No.
He's like, oh, I'm the champ. It's like, I really don't think, there's so many people who will defend Phil, but the way he handles people on social media, the way he handles critics, the way he handles it's immature. Like, it really is. I'm sorry. Like, the fact that he hates big strength and power, even though he's just reported on him, honestly.
Yeah. Funny side note, speaking about people who block you. So I was on Stan's page. Stan doesn't block me. Stan is fine.
Oh.
And I see Mike O'Hearn's wife tags him in like the Monster Mash like meals for sale.
Yeah.
And click on his account, and I can't get to it because I guess I'm blocked by Mike O'Hearn, and I don't fucking know why. But
that's the thing with like these insecure people on Insta. Phil's one of them, I think, is like the people who follow people who are like, if you follow someone who's critical of Mike O'Hearn or critical of Phil, then they block you. I was following Louis Marco, and Louis Marco at the time had said some things that were critical of Phil. And Phil blocked me, and he went through and he was blocking people. I'm like, do you have really, as the Mr. Olympia champion, do you have time out of your day to come block myself, who was actually a fan of Phil at the time? That actually like made me not a fan of him. Like, you know, it just hurts you. It really does. And here's Lou. This is actually from Lou Marco. This is stomach this last year.
Divorced his ex-wife. Oh
Yeah, so,
wow, dude, that looks so bad.
It really was, dude. Honestly, and I mean, that when Sean Roden, like when they're all looking at him, that one shot where he's like looking at Phil, like just out of breath, like gassed. Like everybody was looking at him.
I know what you're talking about.
Why can't they? That's a good like photo. I don't know why they don't have it up on here. Why do you think Mike O'Hearn blocks you?
Dude, I don't know. The guy's a cuck.
Yeah. I don't like that either. Like that shit with like, oh, I'm natural. And then other people make videos defending him. Like, who cares if he's natural? It's like, well, we care because he says he's natural. Like,
dude,
we wouldn't care. We wouldn't care if he didn't say anything.
Yeah, like exactly. It's like, dude, the guy's like, like 48, 49, and he looks fantastic. Like, dude, nobody would be discrediting you. But because, you eat your duck eggs and you're natural,
and the fact that he was selling duck eggs for like $600 as a performance enhancing supplement. Here's that photo. That's so funny because I remember watching this and like the judges were getting mad. Like, gentlemen, can you please? Because he was looking at him, and I can't remember who was to the right over here. I think it was Bonac or someone else. They were just like kind of, or Rolly, and they were like looking at him like, what's going on, dude? Like, because he was like legitimately out of breath. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let's pull up some photos of Brandon, because Brandon I just like as a person. He's a great advocate for the sport too. Like, that's another thing you got to keep in mind is like who can represent the sport. Like Phil has done no, I would say I don't see Phil anywhere. Like he doesn't do anything to promote the sport. He's at his house.
That looks so nuts.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, like he just looks crazy.
I'm such a fan of his physique. His waist is really tiny. He's round, bubbly, conditioned. Like, that's one thing, again, where I'm biased as well, is like Phil, like I've never been a fan of that super bubbly, like really, really, like it's almost too much. And I think it almost like, I don't know. I've never been like personally a fan of it. Wish you'd post some in good lighting. I mean, he just has these, like, these are still nuts. Like, I want to see a double bicep. I don't know if you remember those double biceps by like here from this prep, I think 2019. Nuts.
Yeah, dude, he looks crazy.
So yeah, I'm hopeful for him. And first, I think we both are aware that there's a potential that Phil would still win. I mean, if his stomach is resolved, then he's still what he was in 2018 as far as like, yeah, he'd win. I agree 100%. Wow. Yeah, see this, like, nuts.
Dude, it's just so nuts.
Yeah, and again, I've become more and more of a fan of him as a person. Like, he's a family man.
Yeah,
he does interviews all the time. His wife is such a great supporter of him too, and they're both great represent. His wife's doing interviews. Like, what a freaking power couple that represents the sport so well, But yeah. Anyway, let's get on to Classic next. But yeah, that's our prediction. So we got Brandon in first, Phil in second, Hottie in third, Bonac in fourth, and then Rami in fifth, and Dexter in sixth.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
Do you want to discuss real quick before we go to Classic where we think Hunter and Ian will be?
Okay. Yeah.
And you said Rolly in sixth?
I think so. Or sorry, no, Rolly in seventh, potentially.
Oh yeah.
Just based on his track record, how consistent he is. Let's see. Here. Okay, so what do you think there? Because I don't know, man. What Ian placed? Ian was in 2019, right? Then he placed. in top 10?
2018 Olympia.
What did he place? Do you remember?
I don't know. It's his first Olympia. Like I want to say he got like 14th or something like that.
I would say that Ian, personally, maybe gunning for like the 9th, 10th spot, somewhere in there.
What about Hunter?
Hunter, think around there too, but because so you still have.
There's like Juan Morel, but they're both gonna kill Juan Morel.
Yeah. Okay. So Juan Morel, do you think that he's lost enough clout now in the bodybuilding world that he's just not gonna?
Well, dude, they're not gonna. Didn't even work out for like this past year, and then started prepping, like grew into the show, and like, dude, he just doesn't look good in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So So then in that case, I would have. Then I would probably have like Ian in 10th and Hunter in 9th probably. But this is the thing with the past the 6th spot is just almost pure speculation. Like we can even make more context clues. I mean, obviously it's all speculation, but we can make more context clues from like 6th to 1st. It's all those spots are so interchangeable. Because I don't know. I think Akeem may be placing in that like 7th, 8th spot, probably 8th.
Dude, yeah, he looks nuts, but I don't know if he'll come in condition enough to throw off Ian or Hunter, who I know are going to be peeled.
Here, let me screen it. The thing with Akeem is he was very conditioned this year, and he's improved on it. That's the thing. Like, he competed this year. I remember seeing him and being like, holy shit. And he won a show, I believe, from what I remember. Yeah, did he win Chicago?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, Chicago, he was peeled, I believe. If we can see his back shots, that would be nice. Because that's the problem, is he has conditioning issues from the back. I agree, though. I think track record-wise, I don't think he... Oh, my God. Can we get some fucking competition photos, please? Okay, let's Google him.
Is he at the dentist right there?
Yeah, no, he's sponsored by... A lot of bodybuilders like sponsored by dentists now. It's so weird. Yeah, so he won the Chicago. Hunter, what show did Hunter win this year, by the way?
Tampa Pro.
Tampa.
And Chicago's where Nick Walker placed 4th.
Oh, okay. Nick is Nick competing?
No.
The Olympia? No.
He didn't qualify.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because remember, he won North Americans, then competed
and then competed in that,
at Chicago, and then didn't get. Oh, that guy right there is a new
guy won.
Pro.
Yeah, I saw he's one of Justin Compton's.
Dude, his hamstrings from the back look like Phil Heath's.
Yeah. If he just brings up his back, he'll be nuts. Oh my God, can I just get some comp photos then? Here, sorry, I just want to see his back double real quick. How much time you got? You got work soon, huh?
I got time.
Okay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We'll see. It's also the lighting is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell here. I remember seeing some photos where he looked.
I think Ian put it really well. Ian was saying that he comes in condition, but he just has actually like thick skin.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Now after seeing this, I agree. I think I'd have Hunter and possibly Ian above him as well.
Dude, that looks like he didn't even fucking diet. Like when you look at his upper back.
I remember seeing a photo somewhere where I was like, wow, like he looked really sharp, but it's also this fucking lighting. God, it's abysmal.
That is just so bad right there, in my opinion.
What, the lighting or his physique?
How unconditioned his back is.
Yeah. Okay, but again, what I'm saying is like the lighting plays a huge role in this too.
I agree.
I remember seeing photos of the Chicago and being like impressed. But maybe it's under different lighting, different conditions. But yes, no, I agree. Okay, so after seeing that, like I definitely need to see that. That's why I was like searching so hard for it. Okay, so yeah, then I would definitely have Hunter and Ian ahead of him for sure. So then they would be like in my 8th, 9th place.
Yeah, which is crazy. You know,
Why do you say that?
because like that'd be Hunter's first Olympia, and that'd be Ian's second Olympia, and to already be in the top 10,
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
they've been really consistent people. You know, they work really hard, and they have really they're very muscular. They've really good physiques. I mean, I still think like Ian has this, like, he looks like almost like body parts kind of put together. So I think definitely like working on that balance. That's why I kind of put Hunter ahead of him, and then Hunter conditioning is just insane, and he's been pretty consistent with it so far in his short career,
Yeah.
right? So
This is only his second pro show.
yeah, no, he's pretty nuts. But yeah, I would say probably in that 9th, 10th spot, or 8th, 9th spot potentially. I didn't really see anybody else on the list that I was like is consistent enough or muscular enough,
That
or
that like that front shot, like the most muscular with the hand on the hip, like that just like dude, like that's just
yeah,
so insane.
it's really, really freaky for sure. Yeah, definitely. So I agree with you there.
He needs work from the back though.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
See
his
his
back
back?
is not needs a lot more density.
There we go.
In
Still
my
pretty good though.
opinion,
Yeah, yeah.
not in that shot, but his rear relaxed.
Rear relaxed. Okay.
His
It is
rear
abysmal.
relaxed needs a lot of work, and I feel as if his legs lose size from the back.
Okay. No, I agree. I agree. I think he does appear very balanced though.
Oh,
More than
100%.
other competitors. More
He
than
has
other
a lot of
competitors.
symmetry.
Yeah. That's like why I would put him ahead of Ian in that case, right?
And I don't like the way he does his front double.
Wait, what were you just looking at that?
I
Sorry.
hate when he like pulls his stomach upward. Like I don't know.
What do you think he should crunch down? I don't think crunching down would benefit him at
I
all.
don't think crunching down, but I don't think he needs to like lean so far. I don't know. Maybe it's just like an optical illusion that I'm thinking about, but like I just
Yeah.
don't like
Maybe
how.
something he's considered or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But try to find a rear relaxed. He has him on there in any of those photos. Maybe the first one right there. I'm not sure,
This
but
one?
maybe.
I haven't seen him posting relaxed in these. It's usually like
Okay, never mind. But I
it's
don't know. I don't
usually
really.
and people, dude, I mean, we were just looking through, try to find a photo of William doing a front double. You know, try to find Akeem doing a back double. Like it's like they're
We'll censor their.
well, look at it. Look, we were just looking through their Instagrams and we can't fucking find their weak shots. That's the thing is like I do post my best shots, but like when I post physique stuff, I also try to put in some bad stuff too. Like and it's hard because it's like mentally, like, you know, um mentally it fucks with you, right? You don't want to post that shit. But I think that it's definitely good for like transparency and stuff. I don't know. I think we all do it. I mean, I still kind of do it to an extent too. I'm guilty of it as well. Here, let's see. Can we find comp photos? Let's see Tampa, and then we'll look at the competition photos.
It's like this is about to be his second pro show, and he's about to place like 8th or 9th, like inside the top 10 at his second pro show at an Olympia.
No, but I think we both see that momentum that he has though, and they're just like, I think everybody does really.
Yeah.
Can I get some fucking comp photos? Oh my god, it's like impossible. Okay, I don't think I'm able to find it. All right, let's just run through. Let's run through classic. Okay, let's do. I was saying like top 5 for classic.
Okay, so I think
I want to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
What?
I want to hear. Yeah, I want to hear your predictions because you're you know classic a little better than I do.
Yeah, so I think the first thing we have to think about is Keon and fuck, what's his name? George, sorry. George and Keon are out of and they're up in the 212. So yes. George has been 3rd place for the past like 3 years, and Keon was 4th place behind George. So that opens up a whole a whole thing.
So the guy who placed right below those two, I think his name's Chen. I'm not really a fan of his physique.
I thought it was Branch Chen.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
not really a fan of his physique. Like I remember him placing, and I just didn't really seem impressed. Like it just like seemed like
Got
a very
huge legs.
generic. Yeah, he's got huge legs. It seemed very generic, like physique.
I
Like it
don't
didn't
think he's
seem
competing this
classic
year
or
though.
okay.
Yeah, so but yeah, his legs are pretty nuts. Like kind of
Yeah,
the stereotypical
but again,
like high bar squat from the Chinese powerlifter.
oh yeah. But again, I wasn't like this is the embodiment of a classic physique. It just looks like I don't know a local bodybuilder
Yeah,
to me almost.
I agree.
Um,
He got a really good chest and really good legs.
yeah, I think it was just I think classic. I don't know. I think people are still like confused about classic and like and they're just like a lot of them are just downsized bodybuilders or like I don't know. That's what it feels like to me sometimes. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you have Chris Bumstead who is just like the embodiment of a classic physique. And then you have all these other guys who are just like kind of there. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there's some other guys that are definitely more classic looking, but it's not always the case. And I think that's why we have Bumstead who won last year. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you have a fifth place prediction potentially for this year?
I'd have to think about that. So I think it's gonna be I have like a top 3 for sure.
I have a top three for sure too. I think it's
Or I
hard
have a
because the
top 4.
classes.
I have a
It's
top
hard.
4 for sure.
Okay, what's your fourth?
Okay, so if we go from top to bottom, I think Chris Bumstead's gonna win again. Just going off the facts that dude, this year's prep has been so much better for him in comparison to last year's, and he still won last year.
Yeah, yeah,
And another thing is like his coach Ian was talking about. Like someone asked him on the story, how is Chris's conditioning right now? And this is at like 4 weeks out, and he was like, his conditioning 4 weeks out is better than he was 4 days out.
yeah, yeah. His mentality's there.
And I also think he has
His-
literally made the improvements people were speaking about. He's not hiding from it. He literally
no,
like he's grinding on his biceps, he's grinding on his back. Like
yeah, that's the difference again. Like with like someone like Phil, he's like, I mean, obviously he didn't lose, but like he takes that criticism and he listens to it, right? He's like, okay, what do I need to do to be better? And I see that like growth mindset, and that's why, he even makes fun of himself for it, which is awesome. Like he's just humble in that way, right?
very.
Um, so
Chris is
yeah,
just a good guy.
no, really, and I think he's a great person to be the champion, but I think he also really embodies a fucking classic physique. Like, look at this shit. That's classic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so
Amazing.
nuts.
You know what I mean? Like and the thing is like I was always kind of upset about the classic weight cap because I feel like classic competitors were never that light. It just never made sense to me, but Chris does it well. It works really well with his height, how much he can weigh. It's right there. Like
He's
it's all
still
there.
like 230 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is like what I was like Arnold was like 260, Sergio was like 250, 240, So I always like thought like, okay, I don't think those height those height requirements match up 100%, but I think he really embodies it well. And that's partially his genetics. And
yeah, it is.
I think also his work has
dude,
allowed him to do that.
So nuts.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm assuming you have Breon in second then.
I do. Dude, Breon looks fantastic. Like his conditioning is ridiculous right now. He posted some weird like fisheye lens photo and it was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But other than that, like
yeah, this one.
Like, dude, like if you look down below where his hamstring is, it looks like it's Photoshop. Like it looks like the lines are like bending. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they maybe did fisheye to do that. And it doesn't matter because fucking you can't Photoshop the Olympia.
Yeah, so I think he looks fantastic this year. I don't think he's gonna win though. The reason being is people have said it, and I'll say it again. They've chosen Chris as the direction to go in. Breon was kind of that in between where he looks kind of like a bodybuilder,
that's exactly what I was saying. And
yeah, so another thing is he's like ridiculously conditioned, and I want to say he's still like 12 pounds overweight.
Breon?
Yeah, or more, like 20, like a ridiculous amount of weight over stage weight.
Oh, and that'll hurt him trying to get down for sure.
Yeah, and he's like dumb peeled right now.
Yeah, because what is he going to do? He's going to have to somehow.
He's going to come in stringy.
Stringy, exactly. Because how are you going to fill out? They make weight what Friday, and then they compete Saturday. Is that how that works? Regardless, trying to suck down 15, 20 pounds is not going to be beneficial for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw someone else. I think it was like Jared Feather who pointed it out. He's like, you don't get extra points for being conditioned like 4 weeks out, because he was like, everybody's like freaking out about his like 4 week out photo, and it's like, it's not really like a bonus on his part. But again, I think it doesn't matter, because I think that they've chosen Chris as the direction to go in. And I honestly was just waiting on it. I really was. Like, I think they were waiting on it too. They're just waiting for Chris to come in and just nail it. And they're like, yep, that's it. Because I always thought that Chris just looked better. I thought he was always a better embodiment of classic. I thought he had a better physique, matched the criteria better. So yeah, I think again, they were just waiting on that. And again, I don't really think I liked how he handled his loss either. It was very immature.
It was also, I don't know if you watched his video on Fuad's podcast, but Fuad asked him about all the shade he was throwing, but also about if he liked how Chris Cormier handled it. And he was like, oh yeah, I love that. Like, I'm so glad I have someone in my corner, to like say all that stuff. And it's like, dude, Chris Cormier acted like a little fucking kid on Instagram.
I think Breon did too, because Breon was trying to throw shade on Chris at points as well.
Yeah, and then I don't know. And it's like, dude, like you say Mr. Olympia shouldn't have a lacking muscle group, but it's like, dude, you got to realize you got beat by someone who has a lagging muscle group.
Yeah,
and an autoimmune disease that was flaring up with a torn hamstring. Like,
yeah,
dude, like
so now and again now you have Chris coming in with all of the cards in his favor. Yeah, so he's not going to be beatable, I think, by any means.
Yeah, okay, and then I think so. Going on from there, we have Chris in first, Breon in second, and then I think third is going to be Terrence Ruffin.
Yeah, that's I got third.
Terrence Ruffin, he looks phenomenal. Like, he has crazy shape. I think this is his year to crack that top 3.
Yep, I think so too. I think a lot of people have been hyping him up, and I think deservedly so. Now, my question is, do you think he'll ever be able to go neck to neck with Bumstead?
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say no as well. Why I'm gonna say no for now is because of his size. So he's a lot shorter of an individual than Chris. Chris is I think he caps in at 6'1".
Yep.
So that just gives Chris this different structure that's just so much more.
Yes, exactly. Because if Chris
embodies the classic look,
exactly.
I want to say Terrence is like 5'6" or something like that.
Chris can create a better illusion. This is what helped people like Arnold. You don't have that weight in your waist. You keep a really tight waist, and you can create a much better illusion to appear even bigger. And I think that's where these guys are going to have a hard time. And I think that's where that division is kind of limited, right? Is like the height to weight ratios and stuff.
100%.
I think it wouldn't be good to be like, oh, there's no weight cap, because I think the IFBB has proven time and time again that they're not good at kind of standardizing that in other divisions, right? They would just keep rewarding Chris would just keep going up 250, 260, and they just keep rewarding it, essentially, is what I think would happen. But I think that it's really limiting because, but I think Chris, that height helps him a lot. It makes him look like someone like Arnold almost, and with the really tight waist and things like that. So no, I agree 100%. But Terrence does have a phenomenal physique, and he has a great work ethic from what I can tell as well. So yes, I definitely have him in that third. Do you think that he could challenge Breon at all?
I think we'd have to see him on stage.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to do that this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's on
later on, but
I think he's on track to do it.
I think by 2021 he'll be second place.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because I think Breon's kind of mentioned it too. He'll leave classic,
Oh, Breon?
And go to 212.
Yeah. How do you think he'll fare there?
I would say good, but at the same time, it's like, dude, George Peterson, I think
there's a lot of guys in 212, dude.
Yeah, I know. I think George Peterson will be one of the best in 212. And then you still have Derek Lunsford. Still have there's too much.
Ahmad, Kamal.
Sean Clarita. And then for my fourth spot in classic, I think it'll be Alex Combinero.
Okay, I've never even heard of this guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. that top one. He won the Arnold's. I'm not a huge fan of his
Oh
physique.
yes, I know. He's the guy who has he has a like his head tilts. I don't know why that is, but some conditioner issue, right?
Yeah, and then dude, okay, so the only reason why I have him in fourth is because everybody really likes him for some reason, and he won the Arnold's. Like, dude, he looks fantastic, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't know either. Like, look at this. Like this is a very large gap in his adductors. I think for a
Yeah,
champion,
exactly. So you look
lats
at his
could
legs
be.
from the back, but then, dude, like, why are his lats so uneven? Why is the left side so massive?
I think it's what he's got going on with his neck. I don't know if you notice his head has to like tilt in every shot. I don't know. I remember Chris Aceto mentioned because I think he works with Chris Aceto. I think he's got something going on there. You see that how his head's tilted?
Yeah.
He has some condition or something that like makes him have to tilt his head. See how it's like very consistent every photo. See, it's like tilted like this.
I thought he just likes looking at things that way.
No, I think he has a condition. I remember Chris Aceto mentioning it somewhere. Okay, wait, what do you think about Visors? Do you think he's going to be up there? I think he's one of the few people who still has a like he's one of those people who still has like a structure like Bumstead.
I like
Muscular.
I'm okay, so I'm not a huge fan of him, and I think
Okay.
realistically he could be like the fifth spot. But dude, like when he's on stage, it does not translate from these photos.
Okay. That makes sense. I think I remember. It's been a while since I've seen him on stage, but yeah, I think I remember seeing that. And he looked a little stringier, especially in like the side shots.
Yeah, and his legs were like you don't see photos of his legs.
Yeah, he's very classic, but he doesn't have the muscularity. I think
Yep.
structurally, I think like if he had the muscle, I think structurally he could be like a Bumstead almost.
Yeah.
Like I'm confident in that almost, just from seeing his photos and things like that. But yeah, I guess a lot of it's angles and lighting and things like that. Like, look at this. This looks incredible right here.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. I think he could be up there if he's put on some size, but we don't really know.
Yeah, and then from there, I don't know enough of the classic guys.
Yeah, I don't either. And there's so many competitors. Like it's a pretty
Dude, in
stacked
classic,
lineup.
there's gonna be like 30 people.
Yeah, there could be someone who comes up out of nowhere and you're like, holy shit.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how I didn't even talk about this, bro.
Huh.
DeAndre Campbell. Okay, so DeAndre Campbell, he works with
How do you spell his name?
I forget his coach's name, but so he won Tampa Pro. And dude, like I don't think he's gonna do hella well, but his physique is pretty crazy in my opinion. So it's a DEO, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's working with John.
Yeah. His front shot isn't that great, but on stage he looked really, really good. If I don't know. He has a really crazy back double.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's an edited photo, but still. Yeah, he's got a great physique.
And I think what sets him apart from, like the Alex Campanero or like the Wesley is from the back, he doesn't have that lack in his legs like they do, or
Yeah,
that
I
overall
agree.
thickness. Yeah, so that's the only thing I'd say about him. But I think he
Yeah.
looks fantastic.
Okay, cool. I'm actually really excited to see how this plays out, to be honest with you. Okay, let's go on to 212, and then we'll just wrap it up from there.
I'll let you mainly take 212 on.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I want to say I think Derek Lunsford is going to win.
Okay. I don't think Derek Lunsford is going to win because I think I'm going off track record here. Derek is still working with the same coach, and I don't know. I think it's been like 3 years now where they just have not nailed his conditioning. And I really applaud him for being very, trusting this guy. But I don't know. I've seen literally I don't follow him anymore, but I followed him for the longest time. And it's like every fucking time he's like looks so in shape. And then I see him having fucking 2 burgers and fries before prejudging and eating all this shit food in between prejudging and night show. And he's always watery. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. That could just be anecdote or like just not really knowing what's going on, looking outside, looking in. But I just really like think that like maybe him and his coach aren't a good match or something, man. Like he's there, muscularity, but I don't have faith that he's going to nail his condition enough to win.
I can agree with that then.
I just think like even here, like it's like, okay, wow, he looks on track to be in condition, but it's just like that from a week out to the show date, he just never nails it. He consistently has not nailed it. So that's where I don't have faith in him
I can
winning.
agree with that. And then I'm really blanking on the name of the guy who won last year.
Kamal.
Yeah, come on, yeah. You think he'll win again?
Okay. I'm going
Dude,
out
I
on
do not know why. I'm not into his physique at all.
I'm not either. So that's why I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm going to go out on a whim
Like, how
and
did
say
this guy win?
because there weren't enough people challenging him, and Derek wasn't in shape. You can find a photo of his physique anywhere. I still think he's he's still a good bodybuilder. I think.
Yeah, but how is that the 212 Olympian?
Because the conditioning he had muscle, he had conditioning. Derek didn't bring it, and so he stepped in and took it. I just remember last year the conditioning wasn't good for anybody really, is from what I remember.
Dude, his legs don't do anything for me.
No,
his midsection is pretty big.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. I think Ahmad Ashkenani might be able to step in and win. This is like way out on a whim, and I could be completely against people's predictions. And I think Ahmad, if he this could be Derek could do this too. And again, this is track record, right? Ahmad has not nailed his conditioning.
Well, he looks conditioned as fucked right there.
He looks fucking nuts here, though, is what I'm saying. Okay, this is 3 weeks out. So if he can hold this conditioning or get better from here, I think he's got all the body parts. I think is the thing. So I think that he might be able to win it. I feel like now that Flex is out, and I don't know if Ahmad competed last year or not. I know that he hasn't nailed his conditioning in the past. I know that now that Flex,
bro.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like, I think Ahmad might be able to step in.
Be open,
right? But that's what I'm saying is I think he might be able to step in and win this year. Now that Flex is out and we don't really have a consistent champion, like you're saying, Kamal isn't there. So this thing is his conditioning from the back here, right? And I think that's where he's had trouble before.
He looks pretty good to me for however long ago it was.
Yeah. So, what is this? 3 days ago.
He said video shop also.
Video shop also. Yeah. So I think I'm confident that he might be able to step in and win it. That's out on a whim, right? Like, again, I was saying, Derek's track record, right? So if we're going off those rules, then maybe not. But I think I have. So what I would do is I would say Ahmad first, Kamal second, Derek third, unless Derek fixes his condition, then he can step up.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about George Peterson?
George, I think he's still new to the division, so I don't think they're going to put him up like in the top spot yet.
His condition is so good, though.
Yeah, no, most definitely. So I think George might be in like that 5th, 6th spot. I think
that's still awesome.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think George will probably be battling it out with someone like John Jewett, who is a more seasoned pro in that spot.
I think George will still beat John Jewett, though.
I think because George from the back is much better. I think John's back is still. Yeah, I think John from the back is still not there. Is George filling out the weight cap? Like, is he there?
I don't even think so.
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying is I think that we'll have to see him stand next to those guys. To really be able to tell. I think George is very impressive right now, but he's very fresh out of Classic, and he does look insane. But I still think that we'll have to see him next to a lot of those guys.
Like compared to the top 3 we just had, like winning 212, his waist is so small compared to all of theirs.
Right, and that can definitely play to his benefit, but I still think that muscularity wise, I think he's still got a little bit of right. I think he's still got a little bit. That's why I'm saying
like compare his legs to the guy we just look at, Ahmed.
Oh yeah, Kamal, yeah, or Ahmad, yeah,
Ahmad, like undisputed. But honestly, I must just not like Kamal or something, because if you compare George to Kamal, I know it wouldn't be, I guess, bodybuilding criteria, but I'd pick.
I just think George is a little bit taller. It looks like. Is he?
Well, he can't be too tall because I want
Yeah,
to say
he
he was
can't.
only able to like weigh 185 pounds.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like from like the density of the upper body and stuff, I think it would still be a tough one to say. I think again, I think George has got some growing to do. I'm honestly impressed with George's physique, but I
Me
still
too.
think he's got a little bit of time on his hands as far as like really getting up there and winning.
100%.
So okay, so then if we're going down in placings, I think Sean Clarita has been pretty
Dude, he's gonna do
consistent.
really good.
He's fucking Sean is just fucking nuts, dude. Like how short he is and how much muscle he has on his frame, like it still blows me the fuck away. Like it's so awesome
He
that
made so much progress.
yeah, and he can just keep growing. I mean, as long as he doesn't blow out his waist, he could just keep growing, like, and he just be a fucking ball of muscle. But like he's had a really good track record. He's always coming in condition. He's got a really good physique, even though he's working with such a short frame. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in Sean maybe getting in that 4th spot. It could be a total mix up though. It really could. I think, especially that um, I think John is still like, his back isn't there. So I think that's probably not. That's why I think I have him in 5th, and Sean ahead of him. And then that's where I think that competition
You
between
have
George and
John in 5th.
I think so.
Damn, bro. That's still a 5th place at the Olympia.
No, I absolutely. I think just on track record, where he placed last year, I was looking at that. I really think that's where he'll probably place, unless he's brought up his back by a lot, then he'll be able to come in and maybe challenge Sean. I think I have a lot of faith for John in the future as he's moving forward. Like I think he's a really really smart, articulate person, and I think he really understands training and nutrition from on a very deep level. So I think it's just a matter of time for him, really. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. This is a great shot.
I hate to do this, but I do have to wrap it up.
Okay, no worries. Sorry, we've definitely talked a lot. Cool, yeah, definitely. We'll let you go. It was really cool as far as just kind of breaking things down.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, bro, it gets work. I'll talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
all right. Well, let's make a schedule and we'll get back on
Yeah,
this.
hopefully we'll doing these every Sunday if we can.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good day, bro.
Later, bro.